Good morning. My name is Chris Cowan. I'm CEO of Grit Virtual. Today, I'm going to walk you through some of the features that we have included in our new release, version 1.1, that our first adopters are already putting into practice. So we'll start off with one of the biggest things we've been asked to include, which was being able to add an activity that doesn't necessarily attach to a direct model object. Now, we know this isn't going to be used very often and would encourage individuals to use it sparingly, but a good example of this would be adding perimeter fencing to your schedule. Next, we are able to add a custom name for any activity. This allows it to be easily identifiable throughout the scheduling process, the weekly coordination process, and the feedback process that we have on the sprint board. Next, we've been able to attach activity notes to the activity so that you can have a conversation of the relevant parties, but all the information, all the conversation is connected directly to the activity so that it moves along with it through the project. We've added some additional filters to make it easier to drill down, and also the lead and lag time for an activity. Not to be confused with like a procurement lead time. We have other ideas for that, but this is more the distance between activities, such as a cure time for a concrete slab. We've had a lot of conversation on whether we should expect 5 8-hour work days, or maybe be able to show what 4 10s would look like, or even 3 different shifts during a day. So we made the entire interface completely flexible. Here you can see that they've opted for 5 8-hour work days broken into 2 4-hour segments, and also adding a 3-hour work period on every Saturday of the project. This is to generate the general week of the project, and we understand that exception days will also need to be accounted for. So say you are falling behind schedule and you want to add a single Saturday or a couple of Saturdays of work to be able to see what it will take to get back on track. Also, this is where we'll add holidays or safety stand-down days to show an individual day that no work is to be scheduled. Next, we added in baseline milestones. So this is a feature commonly asked for, the ability to add a milestone date that is either contractually required or something brought in from a previous plan. So either the manual creation of these milestone dates, as you can see here, or the import of a CSV file that would be exported from a Gantt chart style process. So this is for us to bring in milestones that exist already and be able to track against them, and we'll show you some of that on the schedule page in just a bit. Most of the edits that are made in version 1.1 either affect or completely rewrote the schedule page. So you can see here the progression through different time frames, and also the ability to move from day to day throughout the project. Next, we've attached a 7-day forecast from today's date to show the implications of the activities according to the weather that is to be expected on that date. Next, we've added 3- and 6-week look-aheads, just providing more and more options on how to view the upcoming activity. Here it's color-coded by criticality, so understanding in any given week or 3-week period where the emphasis needs to be put. We've also been able to color code by just a subcontractor color coding system that is a quick glance at how the job site is going to look on a given day. And finally, we've added a calendar view that just makes it absolutely simple for anyone that may not be familiar with a bar chart type diagram to just show what activity on what day using a simple calendar interface, and then showing the list of those to the right. Finally, we make it back to the milestones, where the scheduling algorithms will look for the last activity that makes up a milestone, show it here with a diamond indicator, and reference back to the baseline, color coding it whether it's ahead or behind, and then providing some information in a tooltip when you hover over it. So it's great that we have a schedule that's very granular, but we can also derive some more information on it, which has created our new resources page. So currently this is going to look at the activities and understand the crew size requirements to perform the activities included in the schedule, and plot it on this line chart here. In the future, we fully expect to be able to add tools and equipment as additional resources per the activities that are scheduled on the schedule page. One of the major requests we had from one of our first adopters, Leopardo Construction out of Chicago, was the addition of the concept of sprints. So we had the idea of moving things from committed to in progress to complete, all from a prioritized backlog of work, but that was without a concept of a weekly sprint or a weekly time frame. So what we've done is you will create a sprint that will most likely make up or represent a week, and in your weekly coordination meeting, the different trade partners will commit to activities. Once that sprint is started, it will be impossible for them to pull any activities out of the sprint without providing reasoning why. It falls in line with common lean construction principles that commitments should be analyzed against, and this is only possible if there's a time frame in which we recognize it. Now, like our previous release, as they complete activities, they will move it across the board from in progress to complete, and we will be asking for estimated duration that actually took the activity if it's not in real time. So throughout the week, we expect activities to be moved, continuing to capture that information, but at the end of the week, we understand that some activities may have not completely been moved over. At the end of the week, the general contractor will end the sprint, and any activities that have not made it across into complete will want to know why. We understand some activities will actually have been completed, and yes, you can move them and attach your information there, but we also want to capture information on why certain activities may have been committed to and even moved into progress, but were not completed during the time frame. So if you move it to a not complete status, we will ask for a reason why, and then ask where will it go. The addition of sprints allows us to automatically calculate % plan complete with reason analysis so that individuals can look into what's happening on the job site. One of the more exciting developments during the building of our last release was the introduction of the Oculus Go. So we've already created an application that will live on the Oculus store, and basically connecting only with a Wi-Fi connection, we'll have access to our virtual planning environments. You can log in using your email and password, but we understand that's quite a few characters to put in on a VR interface. So we have created what we call a VR shortcode. So on your iPhone, on your iPad, or on the web application, you can automatically generate a 6-digit number that will be able to be inputted and authenticate you on your Oculus Go device. Now, we will actually be streaming down the environment from the Forge databases so that you won't have to store any of the models on the device itself, taking up a little bit too much memory. This will require a little bit of loading time that will adjust as you move throughout the scene, but all the same functionality that we had built for the Oculus Rift is also included here. It just has a few different controls. Since we're not requiring the Leap Motion hand tracker controller, we have created a menu at the bottom that is more of a point and shoot type interface that will allow you to do all the same functionality, just a little different way. Now, we've only had our hands on this headset for about 2 weeks, so we still have a ways to go in getting it prepared, but we're very excited about the possibilities. The biggest thing it opens up is the logistics of actually using the hardware and distributing the software and drivers. So on the left here, you can see our old setup that had a $1,400 computer, a $400 headset, a $90 hand tracking system. It took about 4 hours to get all the drivers set up, and you had to use about 4 different softwares. On the right, you see the Oculus Go that we were just showing screen capture from. All you really require is a Wi-Fi connection, and once you have an account created, logging into the Grit store either with email and password or with the VR shortcode, you can see that this $200 or $250, depending on the version you get, extensively enables our logistics of getting VR out into the field, getting it into job trailers or even into pickup trucks so that individuals can actually use it in the environments that they really need it. As always, we welcome any feedback that you might have. We will be presenting in 2 weeks at ENR Future Tech on a panel called Scheduling and the Power of AI. Otherwise, we'd love to hear from you, either email or give us a call, and we really are looking forward to getting feedback, understanding what's the valuable part of what we have created and what are the next aspects that we have to introduce into the Grit virtual software in order to make it a very viable product for the construction industry. Thank you for your time. We'd love to hear from you. Bye.